everyone, it's Winnie one longer here again. Thank you for joining me for yet another lesson as we try to explore the topic or the series, the reset button. Yes, previously we've looked at ways in which the computer operates like the human brain, and I gave you an example of when I was faced with a situation and I needed to perform some things on the computer, but I was having issues. And as a result of that, I could not be able to do anything. And then I asked someone, it was an IT specialist, and this person does not reside here. I had to call him, he was in Germany. But I had never seen him. He didn't know me. He didn't see me. But he just requested me to get to an app, which was AnyDesk, and then log on. And he asked me for a request. And so it was after the request that he sent that I accepted. But there was an option to reject. And so in life, just like this computer, in life there are decisions that we have to make. Some of these things you can accept, and then there are moments when you have to reject some things. Life has choices. It's up to you to accept everything that comes at you, whether good or bad, or to reject everything that comes at you. So life is full of making choices. But I just wanted to say that today's lesson, which is lesson number 5, will focus on how to make the right decisions. And for anyone that does not know, a decision is a conclusion. So we've been talking about information. Once you've retrieved this information and you've been able to process it, how do you use the information that you have access to? And so there are ways in which you can use it. But then the most important one, of course, is you will have to decide to use this information, because if you do not use the information that you have at hand, you will never be a successful human being. I have seen so many people that have gathered a lot of information. I was one of them that decided to attend so many degrees and so many certifications, but none of them helped me. If I decided to sleep on because they're just documents, and yes, there is information, but if I decided not to use the information that I had attained over the years, I wouldn't be here making a difference in people's lives. Your life is different from mine. We do not have the same qualities. We don't have the same strengths or weaknesses, and we'll talk more about that in the next series. But I wanted us to know that you just have to decide to do something with the information that you have access to. If you understand it, then you move forward. And so I was saying that after you have gotten information, then you have to, it's a conclusion. You have to make a conclusion, or you have to make a resolution. And now that comes after weighing the various possibilities or options. Do I get married or no? Do I get married to this person or no? Do I start a family or no? Is it time? Can I go back for further education or change careers? Or do I move to another city or country? Do I end this relationship? Some people decide to stay in toxic relationships and they have their reasons why. Can I stay with this kind of friendship? Am I growing? Is this person helping me to move forward toward my goals in life? Or do I have to make a decision to end this relationship? Should I overcome this addiction? Or should I just stay with it and just exist? Or you can commit to getting sober. Do I start a new business, or do even for financial major financial opportunities or decision? You have to make decisions. I've made so many mistakes when getting into financial. I've gotten into so many financial troubles because I have not followed the right steps into determining to make decisions. Whether it's adopting a child or becoming a foster parent, or making a major lifestyle change. For example, you may decide to want to change, you decide to live, to reduce some of your weight, and you can decide to exercise. If you have put it in your mind that, you know what, I think I can lose 5 pounds. And when you know that, when you're determined to do that, you have to make a decision to do it. But this will involve something you decide, but then do it. Deciding to do is something that's tough for many of us. And if you don't decide to do, if you don't start, then no results will be seen. Okay? So when you want to lose weight, you have to know what you're going to do. Of course you have to change your diet. Of course you have to become more active. These are so many things that we can do. And then some people decide to hold on to hurt. Are you going to forgive so you can move forward, or you're going to continue hurting yourself with unforgiveness, because unforgiveness somehow has led to many diseases, and the list is endless. And so you can decide to forgive and let yourself free, and free the other person so that you can be forgiven. And then you can also choose to embrace a new spiritual practice, and we'll talk more about that. But I wanted to point out the fact that decisions decide destiny. That if you want to move forward, you have to make a decision. If you want to move forward from one point in life to another point in life, if you want to move from being unsuccessful into living a successful lifestyle or winning lifestyle, you have to decide. And then these decisions, we'll see. We'll see whether the world will see whether you've decided to make to make a decision to improve yourself. And I wanted to point out that the fact that decisions not only impact you, these decisions are life changing. They can impact your children. They can impact generations to come. And I was looking at the fact that you only decide to make a decision when you're responding to a problem, or a question, or even a situation that requires a response. And so if you're wired like me, who used to just wake up and decide and get into trouble, then you will have so many issues. In most cases, making a decision will require you to think. Of course, because if you don't use your brain, the reset button that we are talking about, then you're going to have issues. That's when you're going to jump to making decisions that are going to impact you and the rest of you and your descendants. Because yes, decisions are life changing. Once, especially the major ones, once you decide to do something, if it's positive, it will move your life into the positive direction. But if it's not positive, definitely the consequences of these decisions are going to be bad. So every time you make a decision, you also have to think about the consequences of a decision that you've made. If I decide to not work out, what are the consequences of a decision that I'm making? I'm talking about working out, but I'm one of those people that hates to do that. But yeah, I'm working on that, because I know that because of that, when I gained some weight, then I saw that my high blood sugar was raised, and also another disease came up, or another condition came up. Condition that I could control, and I can still control if I eat right and exercise. So moving forward, we need to think about the decisions that we make in order to live successful lives. And there is a verse that I saw, and it's in Deuteronomy 30 verse 19. And here the author says, and that is the Lord Almighty. He said that this day I call the heavens and earth as witnesses against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. And now he is so loving that he continues to tell us that now choose life, so that you and your children may live. I hate pointing out to people, but I will say you, because when I look around at the fact that some of us make decisions that negatively impact our children, because of maybe the way we were raised. But I'm thinking to myself, there is always time to change, okay? Because if you are presented with life, if you are presented with death, if you are presented with blessings, if you are presented with curses, a wise person will choose blessings. A wise person will choose life. So please stay with me as we continue to explore this exciting topic. And in the Bible also, you remember that there was a person that they called, the Bible refers to as a prodigal son. I don't know whether you've been a prodigal before, but yes, I've been a prodigal. This man or this boy, son, woke up one day and realized that the state that he was living in was not a desirable one. And so he decided to go back to his dad and apologize. There are so many times that we'll make mistakes, and instead of owning up to the mistakes that we have made, we continue doing the same mistakes. Or even some of us have decided that, oh, we are going to be blaming other people for the decisions that we've made, because you are responsible for your life. It's not your parents, it's not the government, it's not your teachers, it is you. Okay? And I understand there are some situations where we can point our fingers to some people, but I do not want us to get into habits of blaming others, but we want to focus on how we can help ourselves, starting from where we are right now. Okay? It's never late. We can start with what we have, we can start with where we are, and develop ourselves into successful people. Okay? And so when I look at the other Deuteronomy 30, going back to 30:19, this verse emphasizes the power of free will and the responsibility that comes with it. You are free to decide what you want. But remember, whenever you make a decision, you are responsible for the decision that you make. No one is going to make that decision for you. And no one is going to face the consequences either. And so the God then says, the heavens and the earth serve as witnesses to the choices we make and the consequences that follow. So when he says that this day I call the heavens and the earth as witnesses against you, it means that the heavens and the earth serve as witnesses to the choices that we make and the consequences that follow. When you decide that I want life, when you decide that I want to be a blessed person, and you act upon becoming that person, you will see that these blessings will follow you. But if you decide to live in disobedience, you're going to see curse upon curse, and it is not fun. I've been in both sides, and I can tell you that the blessing side is really it's the best. What can I say? And I will want to encourage you that yes, there are some tips to help you make the right decisions. You will not walk during this process alone, like I've always mentioned. Please subscribe, follow us, a newsletter on the website, and comment. We are here to work together. But in order for you to make the right decision, you have to define your goals. Before you make any decision, you want to think about the fact that what are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? So if you have identified what your goals are, then you can move on. And the book here, text here is taken from the Proverbs 16, verse 3, which says, to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. So before you even make any plans, commit your plans to him, and he will establish those plans. I'm speaking with experience. I have done so many things without his guidance, and I have regretted it, and this is why I'm seated here today, telling you that you know what, you need help. In this world, you will need help, and help is available whenever you need it. Ask for it from your creator, ask for it from your family, from your friends, and from mentors, okay? And we're here to also help you. Please reach out, whether privately or even in the comment section. I love the public, because then the conversation gets going. And when you have defined your goals, then you go on to gather information about your issue or problem. And so you can use all the available resources I have mentioned in the previous lesson, the various how to gather information. Please, if you missed that one, go back. And then you may also see that yes, you've researched online, yes, you've consulted with experts and others, and so then you move forward with the decisions. Of course, you have to weigh the impact of each. You compare. Please go back to the previous lesson in case you missed it, and then you will learn something about moving on to make the right decision. And the book here is Proverbs 18:15, which says that an intelligent heart acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. That's obvious. When you listen, when you need wisdom, intelligence, search for it and you'll find it. And then the third option to consider, the third tip to consider is consider all options. I've pointed out that don't just wake up and make decisions. Think about the available options and take your time, Proverbs 15:22 says that plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they do succeed. That's a good one, especially when it's a life-changing decision. You don't just wake up and do something. You ask various sources. 2 or 3 sources is good, and then you weigh the risks involved in this, in any of them. Evaluate, which is the next step. You evaluate the pros and the cons of each option that you have available. Are there any potential risks in each? Weigh them, weigh the potential risks and benefits, and then you can look at this at the bigger picture, and then you yourself are the one to make the decision. No one should ever make a decision for you, because it's you who will face the consequences. And then trust your instincts. Once you have this available resources or information, sometimes you will have to make the decision, but then that will be your gut feeling that you'll be using. Now I know that that gut feeling is the small still voice inside of me. And yes, listen to your intuition when making choices. That is really significant. And Proverbs 16:2 says that all a person's ways seem pure to them, but motives are weighed by the Lord. I'm sorry, we are running out of time, but I wanted to point out 6, which would be seeking for advice. And I told you, we mentioned that before, but I wanted to attach a verse for that, which is Proverbs 19:20. And it says, listen to advice and accept instruction, that you may gain wisdom in the future. And previously I told you that it's always important to take your time, especially when you're making life significant decisions. And that verse, the text attached to this one will be Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1-8. Please, whenever you get time, read it. And it's about a timing for each and everything. Do not rush into making decisions, especially those that are life-changing. Take your time, reflect on the options that you have, evaluate the information that you have been given or you have gained access to, and consider the potential outcomes. And please never make any decisions under pressure, because that normally leads to regrets. Ask me. I'll tell you more in the coming sessions. But the last one I wanted to point out, which is tip number 8, please be prepared to adapt. Remember that no decision is set in stone. What I mean here is that be prepared to adapt to any changes. Make changes if needed, based on any new information or changes or circumstances that may arise. And the text here is Isaiah 43, verse 19, which says, see, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Please always listen to instruction, because these instructions will always be the ones that will guide you into the new life that you would want to have, and that is a life of success. So thank you so much once again for joining me here. It is Winnie Wamlanga again here. I wish you all the best. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and comment, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Have a blessed day. Bye.